I love patterns. They are everywhere. This is me building all kinds of towers using patterns when I was little. Patterns are especially relevant and can be seen everywhere in innovation. One of my favourite patterns comes around every 250 years or so, where a new piece of technology or innovation enters our world and shakes it forever. The last step in this pattern was electricity, and the current step is AI. AI is our generation's version of electricity. It has the ability to change the way that we live, work, and play. And we're actually a part of the building process of this. Every time that we engage online, whether it's posting a video, leaving a comment, or even posting an image, we're actually creating data that builds these AI models. So without even realizing it, we're a part of the process of building AI too. And it's because we're in this really special time right now, where we can not only post things online instantly, but also have access to instant information, not only of our current generation and culture, but also of the past. And we can use this information to derive better patterns for our future. Hi, I'm Nivaaz, and my love for patterns took me down a path of maths, engineering, physics, quantum, into the Web3 space, and now as a builder and player in the AI space. But as I got deeper into STEM, I often found myself as the minority in many rooms. And as I got deeper into the AI space, I noticed another troubling pattern. One of inaccessibility, one that lacked diversity, and one that included bias. Bias has been in tech for a little while now. Take cars, for example, or seatbelts. Did you know that women are 74% more likely to be at risk of serious injury when they're in a car crash? All because seatbelts and cars were designed with the male anatomy in mind. Or take medicine, for example, where historically research was done on male patients. And so now we have gaps in our data, like we don't understand the symptoms that women have when they have heart attacks. And so when we build AI models on top of this data, it leads us to have issues that are not only just like technical flaws or have little biases in them, but they're life or death issues. To build a better future, we need to understand the previous patterns of biases and redesign them to create patterns that make us live in an exciting world and a future that we want to be in. AI has its challenges, and bias can be a part of that. But bias isn't always negative. Bias can also be the key to how we design a better future. But we need to understand how bias is built into AI in order to do that. So do you know how to build an AI tool? Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. So learning to build an AI system is a little bit like learning a new skill. Take learning to walk, for example. The first step is to collect some kind of data set or set of experiences. So when you're little, you're probably watching your family and friends glide across the room and you're like, oh, I want to do that too. The second step is to identify features or patterns in this data set. So you're probably working out that they're taking one foot in front of the other and they're keeping themselves upright. And so you might try and do that too. The third step is to identify patterns in the data using some kind of algorithm or some kind of intuition to do the same. And so that might look like you actually getting up on your 2 feet and trying to stick one leg in front of the other and, eventually moving forward. The fourth step is testing. It's all about looking at the algorithm or the routine that you've worked out and making sure that it's robust and reliable and can work on other sets of data too. And so now, coming back to walking, that you've mastered walking in the living room on your hardwood floors, can you actually do it on carpet, grass, concrete, uphill, downhill? You want to make sure that you can maybe turn it into a skip or a hop too. So learning to build an AI model is a little bit like learning to walk, as we just talked about. But unlike learning to walk, It has the potential to absolutely transform our world on a very tremendous scale. And just like electricity, it has the opportunity to weave itself into every single part of our society and world. And with this huge amount of potential comes this huge amount of responsibility, which begs us the question, what happens if we don't fix these biases? So let's take a look at some examples. Take facial recognition, for example, which shows us both the power and the pitfalls of AI. It can be used in something like security to make it even faster and more efficient. Take the city of Shenzhen, for example, which rolled out AI into its surveillance systems a number of years ago. And in the first couple of months that it was rolled out, it was able to help solve 60% of crimes that came through the city. And a couple of weeks later, they were able to find a missing child in a city of millions in minutes. But this same technology also has downfalls, especially when it comes to marginalized communities. Research tells us that if you have a darker skin tone or if you don't fit traditional gender biases, that these systems struggle to recognize your face. Now, these aren't just biases that are in the data sets, but they're ones that are baked into the systems and then they learn from them and then propagate them forward. And then there's the unexpected. And my favorite example, take passport makeup, which was a trend that went viral online a little while ago, where people were being told how to do their makeup in a particular type of way when they were taking their ID photos. But often when we're going through the airport, we're not actually wearing any makeup. And so when we were going through security or using these facial recognition softwares, they would actually struggle to identify our faces. And so it's kind of funny that even systems so advanced and so complex can be stumped just by a small change in appearance. And this shows us this double-edged nature of AI. It shows us how it can make our worlds more safe and secure, but it also shows us how it can stumble in surprising ways or propagate biases that are in the data sets that it's trained on. But the good thing is that we're playing an active role in building the patterns of how AI is built in the future. AI might have its challenges, but it also has the potential to transform our world by breaking old patterns and creating new ones for the future. Imagine a world where you step into a car, you sit down, and you tell it where you want to go and it takes you there. Or imagine a world where we can pinpoint natural disasters well before they happen, just because AI can make sense of the vast amounts of data from our world. Or imagine a world where you have a tutor that's personalizing the way that you learn and learning the way that you learn best and creating engaging modules for you to move forward and be excited to learn, all from day one from when you entered school. All of these potentials are possible because AI is breaking old patterns and it's creating new ones. Major companies like Google with Gemini or Apple with Apple Intelligence are paving the way forward of how AI gets integrated into our everyday. But one of my favorite examples actually comes from Meta, the company that houses Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Meta is taking an open-sourced approach to building AI. And so they understand that the future of AI needs to be collaborative. It needs to be done in a style where we're able to give feedback and we're able to improve on the models that are being put out there. This same approach was actually used in the past. And that's the reason that we have tools or softwares like Unix, for example, which is the industry-leading software used in our mobile phones today. It was built with this same open-sourced approach. There's also companies like OpenAI who are making AI even more accessible than ever. And it's because they're breaking old patterns of monopolization with big companies and making it even more democratized. And the way that they're doing this is with ChatGPT, which you might have heard of before. ChatGPT is revolutionizing the way that we play with AI. And this is because in order to use AI, all you need to do is be able to send a text or speak to your phone. There's no need to learn how to code anymore to interact with AI. They've also released the ability for you to create your own version of ChatGPT, all with an idea or some kind of data set, which could be a bunch of text or a PDF. They're truly breaking old patterns of monopolization and creating new patterns that allow anyone and everyone to benefit and collaborate with AI. Tech giants aren't the ones that rule AI anymore. We're able to be part of the process with new types of AI that are open source, by participating in collaborative approaches with AI, and to create new patterns for our future. And we can create a world where technology and AI is reflective of our diverse human experience. So you might be wondering, what role do you have to play in all of this? Well, look, the worst thing that you can do is to think that AI is too complex or too scary and to not let it transform your life. Remember, you don't really know how the insides of your phone works in order to let it transform your life too. So I encourage you to play with it, explore it, share your journey, but be aware of the biases in AI platforms. But it starts with you and me. Together, we can break old patterns and create new ones to build a better world. Thank you.